So this is properties. Real pleasant. Shut down, not visible. Okay.
You cut out. We didn't hear the start of that. I am Jägermeister, playing as Denver Wright, with no witty retort coming off the cuff ready this time.
My name is Zerder, and I will be introducing my character this session, so I'm currently no one.
Oh.
You still matter to me, Zerder. Fine. I'm Maddie. I am playing a character, Yvonne, who is way better than Denver in every form.
All right, I am Hegemon Lur. I'm playing Caleb Archer, who's a tad upset and looking to take something from pretty much anybody he can. A planet will do.
I'm Eastborn, playing Mirena Alpha, and she's definitely very sad, but no, she has to push on.
I'm Brui, playing Devin, long returned.
There we go. No sound was going through to the from me to the games or to the thingy, so yay. So nobody heard any of that from me, but that's okay. We'll cover it. We'll figure it all out later. I may have to re-record the intro because that's gonna be fun. Either way, so you guys are just on the edge of the main part of the city of Radal. The Curitan forces have pulled themselves back away, and there are riots going on in riots, like you just from the sound carrying, you can tell there's something going on in town. Gunfire, and the mechs pulling away. You're like still pinging hot metal, and you guys hear over the radio.
That one. Overst, Vanya Lund, in the soon-to-be free city of Radal. You are the hired forces to help out our small issue here in town.
I say small, and I stare at Hedge or to Caleb.
Yeah, we're mercenaries come to free some cities here.
Sounds good. There is mechs coming up from your rear. Should be known to you. At least one of them. I have been in contact with them. They are maybe 15 minutes outside of town.
I'm gonna switch to local channel and say, all right, people, we got mechs inbound, probably friendlies, but I don't want to take a chance. Let's have everybody saddle up, get ready for an encounter just in case. We got a few minutes, but not much. So get them cooled down, get ready.
All right.
I'm assuming we were moving the mechs that were broken to a hidden spot, and I'm assuming we're also moving our fallen friend there. So at least it's like we can recover him if we want.
Sure, that's like 50 minutes is enough time to kind of pull the wrecked mechs back away from the battlefield, get them get him under some sort of cover. Probably wouldn't last super long, just because there are people like this is suburbs type area, but so 10 or 15 minutes later, okay, question for you. Who captured the commander?
I believe that was Denver.
Wasn't the Wolverine, right?
I think it was the Wolverine.
Okay, yeah, so not Denver, but
Yeah, so
pilot of the Wolverine.
Yep. So, what are you guys doing with the enemy commander, as far as you can tell, in the downtime?
Was she? What was her condition once she punched out?
I believe she was uninjured. Probably shaken up, but she punched out. Her dragon blew up. She punched out, or auto punched out, landed basically at the Wolverine's feet. Wolverine scooped her up in a nice, it's nice that the Wolverine has hands.
I thought she was unconscious.
I'd have to check the VOD, but my brain, if she wasn't unconscious, she may have had one or two injuries, but she was well for the most part, other than punching out of a mech.
Not bleeding out anyway.
No, not knocked out, not bleeding out, nothing.
We don't have any support troops with us, so that complicates things. How about this?
Restrainer.
I assume we'd be able to restrain her to the point where she could sit on a rumble seat in a mech.
It's super unsafe for her, but yes. Don't getting knocked, like you getting knocked around, or your mech getting knocked around, whoever's mech she's in would have a higher chance of injuring her, because if she is restrained and strapped down, then she can't move with blows. But yes, absolutely is a possibility.
Yeah, Caleb's not going to care about that. So she's going to be hogtied, restrained, tied to the rumble seat, etc., not able to cause any mischief. And
I would assume a 5-point harness.
Absolutely. Whose mech is she in?
That's a good question. Any volunteers? I don't think she would survive being in Caleb's mech.
I guess the awesome would be fine, right? Not jumping.
Right. So Morena, you have a tied and defiant looking Noguchi Ayaka in your rumble seat.
I'll make sure she's at least tied up well, and probably also has her mouth restrained. I hope.
Give me who was good? Who would have done the tying up? I want you to give me a roll. Let's open up Arnstein's character because he's not here.
I
anymore.
have, if I would tie it to my mech.
Intelligence plus sneak. Who's ever tying her up?
Well, not me then.
I mean, I don't think anyone is great on it, but let's.
I thought somebody took sneak. Wasn't Denver?
It might have
maybe.
been Gregor, or the newest Xerder thing that he doesn't have yet.
Well, somebody give me a roll, otherwise I'm assuming
I'll
that...
roll it. There you go.
All right.
Too bad.
Thank you. All right, so as you guys are putting covers over and getting into a kind of sheltered area, putting covers over, getting the commander transferred, doing all these little minor things, get a ping on your whichever mechs are set up on watch, get a ping on their radar of 2 mechs approaching from the southwest. Looks like from their mag returns, looks like a light and a heavy, and from the IFF transponder, the light is Yvonne's mech. The heavy is unknown but friendly marked.
All right, Caleb will go out into the open to greet him. Have everybody else stay back in covered positions, and I'll switch over to our ally channel, whatever it is, and say, "Yo, Yvonne, is that you?"
That's a Roger. Is Denver here? I gotta beat him again.
Yeah, he's here. Who do you got trailing you there? That's quite the surprise. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, for everybody else who may not already know, a not Black Knight. Is it a Black Knight?
It is a Black Knight.
Okay, a Black Knight mech is like as your radars come up with more information than just heavy. It's a Black Knight. It is painted in jungle colors. It is coming up basically striding right along with Yvonne's Firestarter.
How fast?
They'd be coming up probably the running speed of the Black Knight. I don't know how fast that is, but
Makes sense.
moving fairly quickly.
Yeah, nothing to shoot yet. No reason to go too fast. But yeah,
And meanwhile, the Black Knight is going full tilt.
I'm going like half speed there. But yeah, we've got a new recruit coming in with us. That thing is tall, dark, and handsome.
Well, definitely could use a new recruit. You got a name?
Javon, you always flatter me.
Greetings.
Not you, Denver.
My name is Geralt Kenshin,
Well,
and I
Geralt,
am your liaison for the NBFA.
All right. As you get close to town, Geralt, you get Vanya. Sorry, Commander Lund or Colonel Lund. Pings you in and says directly to you, not to everybody's like. Please have them come to a secure location, and she gives you a map coordinate. It's further into town. I want to coordinate with the forces, the mech forces here.
So my commanding officer just asked me to direct you to a secure location to coordinate the assault of Rodal.
Do we pass along the information where we hit our mechs that were kind of broken down?
Well, that's where you're currently at, so
Yeah, just no, as in communicate that through so they can either do something with it or not. I'm not sure.
I
if
don't think-
that's
I don't think we want to spit that over the comms necessarily.
right. That's true.
Well, Geralt, it's nice to meet you. I hope you can pilot that thing. Based on what we've seen so far, we need the firepower. So where are we headed? Do you know? Is there any forces between here and there?
Personally, the player assumes that there is either none or very light happenings, not threatening 11, 12 mechs passing through.
You were uninformed of any forces between you and Colonel Lund's position.
Yeah, I'll distribute the map coordinates to the computers of the other guys' mechs, and I'm not aware of any forces in between us, but it's in the middle of a war, people could pop up anywhere.
All right, let's do this. I think it's good to coordinate, but I don't want to go in completely blind. Yvonne, since you're here, why don't you scout out ahead of us a little bit? We'll go a little slower, and keep yourself out of trouble. If you see anything, squirrel. Don't try and be a hero.
Fine, only because I don't want to die before Denver.
All right. So you guys start moving into town, Yvonne taking the point. Could I get a piloting plus dexterity from you, Suda?
Yeah, as soon as I remember how to do it.
Open your sheet, click on the skill, and select the stat. 0 modifier, I'm assuming.
Affirmative. Dexterity.
All right, so you get into town a little ways, and it's like light forces, bunch of, like, people are not interested in dealing with even a 35-ton mech unprotected on the street. You do get as you're going along, you round a corner and there is a like light skimmer craft with Draconis markings on it, and you go to duck out of the way and hit a building. So medium lasers flare out from the skimmer craft. You don't take any damage, but the building next to you does get a little wrecked. Get a shoot plus dexterity from you now, please. All right, that's good enough. So you step back out, and a small pile of ashes is all that's left after your flamers go off and basically torch the skimmer craft to the ground. And it is from where you're standing here, you can see the location that Colonel Lund pointed out. It looks like it is a large industrial warehouse. There is a set of mech-sized doors standing open on one end of it.
Don't you know not to sneak up on a girl like that? Jeez.
As the rest of us are getting closer, Geralt will key up the mic to Obelslund and just say, we believe we're 12 mechs, 10 mechs, 11 mechs.
We're back up to full company because we lost two.
You're at 10.
Lost two and up two.
You
Oh, that's right. We didn't send a full company.
That 10 mechs are closing in on the location.
So Geralt, you get basically as you round the corner within visual distance of the building, you get a basically flashlight sign that's known to you as one of the acronyms, countersigns, essentially. I forget the acronym. NBFE? That's not right. NBFA. I was close. The NBFA's like countersigns, so they sure seem like friendly forces inside the building.
So as Caleb rounds the corner and sees the burning remains of the skimmer, he keys up his mic, but he's having a little bit of mic trouble, and he shouts out, "Yvonne, if you could just, you got to report us."
What? They snuck up on me. What is the girl supposed to do? Just stand there and take those mediums? I think not.
All right. As you guys pull into the building, as the last mech pulls in, the big industrial doors close down behind you. You can see a small. It would be generous to call it a mobile command truck. In the center of this basically empty warehouse. But it is like a box truck, and it's got a couple long whip antennas on top of it, and a directional antenna as well. And you can see 3 or 4 people inside the back of this thing sitting on computers, and a woman steps out of the back of it. She is wearing civilian clothing, sort of. It's like a gray shirt. She's got a beret on. She has a SMG on one hip, a assault rifle on her back, and she's just, as you guys pull up and park your mech, she's just looking as cool as she can get away with while staring up, 30 feet into the face of things that could squish her without any second thought. And she just waits for you guys, obviously waiting for you to disembark.
Geralt will probably be the first one to just find the rear corner, hunker his mech down, joint lock, and just jump out. And he is dressed like a civilian trying to be military. Like the camo clothes and all, but not, obviously not military garb, more imitation.
Military themed casual clothes.
Yeah, something like that. He will saunter up to Vanya and snap to salute.
She gives you a. She's obviously having a long night, considering it's 3 in the morning about this point. Returns your salute. For those of you who are in mechs still, you can probably pick up over the microphones, because the mic in your mechs are pretty good. If you guys are already starting to get out, probably less good. And she basically offers Geralt return salute, says, "Good to see you, Geralt. I'm glad you brought him over."
Yeah. Got any coffee around?
Well, we can call it coffee. It's up in the cab.
Thank you. I'll just go help myself. That black knight's been run ragged 3 days in a row now.
She nods and
me.
she nods and turns. Who's all getting out of their mechs?
Before we do that, Caleb's going to switch a private channel over to Devin and Denver, since it looks like Morena's already getting out with the captured commander, and say, hey, would one of you guys mind just sticking around for 5 or 10 minutes, so that if everything goes sideways here, we've got some support ready to go?
I keep my mic. Yeah, I'll sit tight. I'll be going through a power down cycle anyway.
Great.
Yeah,
I appreciate
Denver
it.
will be doing a systems check as well.
All right. Caleb will be hopping out.
All right. Yvonne, you staying in your mech or getting out?
Oh, I gotta stretch these long legs, hon. We
All
are
right.
getting out.
All right. So, to your eyes, Caleb, as Yvonne gets out of her mech, it's pretty obvious that and it was pretty obvious for Geralt as well. It looks like they left the drop ships at a run. It like they haven't slept much. But yeah, you both climb down, walk over. The commander offers you both a hand, like doesn't salute you, offers you both a hand, says, Oberst Vanya Lund, pleased to make your acquaintance. What was the situation on the mechs in your encounter out of the city?
It went pretty well. Well, no, it went all to snot. But I mean, as far as the actual combat went, we came out of it ahead. I think we took down 3 of their heavies. What would it have been? It would have been an archer, a warhammer, and very little of a dragon that's left. Unfortunately, we lost one of my good friends to that dragon, and we also lost a victor, that's a pretty heavy hit. We need to get that thing recovered. So trying to think what's it looks like we could maybe get 3 of those up and going again. There are a couple of them just good for scrap, but scrap metal. So do you have any way to recover mechs, any transports that we could get over there?
I don't have any mech transports necessarily, but I can source vehicles that can carry 100 tons. How heavy is the Victor?
Victor's 80 all on its own. What else do we lose? A Grasshopper, which I think is 75 or 70.
Grasshopper 70.
Yeah, and then the other one that I think, wasn't there one more that was recoverable? I don't remember.
So a couple of the enemy mechs might be recoverable. The Thunderbolt and at least one other mech were disabled but not destroyed.
Yeah, so there's plenty there that if we don't give it too long, there's quite a bit there worth getting. They broke and ran, so I don't have any intel right now on where they are or how long until they can come back at us, though.
I might be able to help you out there. So they, from my scouting reports, they are headed to the castle. Looked like there were 8 or 10 mechs headed to the castle. The hard points in the city have been reinforced by the battalion. So we are not able to make much headway. But we have prevented further movements of troops. Do you? Well, let me come. Follow me. I will show you the map, and she leads you into the cab, or not the cab, into the box back of the box truck. And I really should have drawn a map. All right. Well, we're gonna do it live. Do. I need a new page. Create new page. Haha. All right. So we can go ahead and drag the players over here. So she starts laying out. There we go. She starts laying out. So you guys are currently draw shape. Good enough. About here in the city. So she points out, let's see. There are 3 defended locations on almost straight north of you. Is the city government, or well, it's like the courthouse, the mayor's office, all of that sort of thing. She says there's a few tanks there. We're unsure if the mayor is, or not mayor, governor, planetary governor is located there. His house is in that complex. But we're unsure if he is currently located there. About a mile and about 2 miles to the east, north, south, west, east of that. Actually, let's change colors here. There. Nope, that's not what I wanted. There we go, draw shape. So about 2 miles to the east of that. Oh, it's the wrong color again. There we go. Is the HPG installation. So shortly after Gunnar left with the Toraberu, they severed the phone connections to the HPG station. Basically, only way you can communicate with off planet is either through dropship or if you physically walk into the HPG. So the Draconis troops are very careful that they do not step foot on the HPG grounds. It is considered purely neutral territory. But you can't get onto the HPG grounds unless you are vetted by security, ground forces. They know that there are at least 3 tanks located there, and there's a bunch of APCs, like just for the standard defenses of the HPG. There's at least 3 tanks and a bunch of personnel carriers arrayed around that building, and they've like cordoned off. They've been able to send some messages through, basically through secret, because once you cross into the Comstar grounds, like they can't watch you, and Comstar has refused to let, despite many asks, has refused to let the Draconis Combine people know what messages are being sent once the people get onto HPG grounds. To the direct east of you, color again.
And I'm sorry, the HB, you kept saying HGB. What are you?
HPG, Hyperpulse Generator. It is faster than light communications. It is run by Comstar. It is an instantaneous. You can make an instantaneous video call across the distance of the entire inner sphere. It ain't cheap, but you can do it. So
okay.
There, as far as your characters are aware, Comstar is the only way to send a message in real time extra solar outside of the solar system. It takes a lot of, like, you can't put, as far as you are aware, you can't even put a HPG generator onto a jump ship. Like, it's too big and powerful and everything for that. So it's basically planetary based only, and it is faster, real time communication across the entirety of the inner sphere. If you want to call your mom at home, that's how you do it. And then we're gonna draw and then directly to the east from here is the castle complex. So we know there are there was a company of mechs plus some dropship just landed a couple of days ago and unloaded some more mechs into the castle. They have that is where the tanks are located. So unknown number of tank forces, at least three dropships, and well guarded by Kurita troops and other ground forces.
Wait. So let me make sure I got that straight. What you're saying is that company we knocked over is one of two companies of mechs here in town?
No, just as far as we knew until 3 days ago, just one company of mechs. 3 days ago, another. She kind of waves her hand, looking for the word in English, and then she says, "Leopard landed and disgorged 3 mechs." And she gives a description of them, and Yvonne, those mechs sound familiar. They are the remnants of the lance of mechs you encountered, well, a few days ago. The scout lance that was trying to scout past you, and well, you jumped them.
Yeah.
Player question as a player. The near company, demi company, whatever it was that we have, weren't in contact to get a report on the output of that or the outcome of that scout mission, were we?
You were not. You did know that Yvonne was one of the people who were sent out to intercept them.
Gotcha. Okay, thanks.
Yeah, those 3 sound familiar. Like, we hit a scout lance not too far out. So that might be what those guys are.
Oh, so they're probably pretty beat up then. At least I'm assuming you guys did a number on them.
Because Suda doesn't know, but she could. Her character would. I would assume tells the story of how Thomas Scarzi has the nickname Frog.
Mm-hmm.
You're
Yes. Yes, she
Jiminy
would.
Christmas. We're gonna have to do something about that boy. He takes way too many risks. And it's harder when he's a hero for saving the mission. Dog.
The techs on site are, and the techs in the castle are decent. There is a good chance that those 3 mechs are in repaired condition. I don't know how much long-term damage they would have, but they are like probably up and running. All right, Morena, you were bringing the commander up.
Yep.
All right, about this time, Morena comes up with the still hand-tied but walking Noguchi, and you can tell that she is like the commander's looking tired. For those of you, actually everybody at this point, with the exception, well, everybody at this point. So she is wearing the standard Kurita uniform, but less the, like, there's usually an over jacket and then an undershirt. The jacket has been removed, but other than the sweat stains, completely proper Draconis Combine Shosa uniform. I'm assuming you took her out of her cooling vest. And she's like blazing. If looks could kill, there would be a smoking crater, much like the skimmer, where Lund is standing. And the commander looks up and says, "Fanya, how nice to see you."
Wait, you two know each other?
Just like Vanya kind of gives a heavy sigh, and Noguchi Noguchi goes, "Yes, I have intelligence files on the enemy forces. Haven't been able to track this one down yet. So when my people find this place, it will be lovely to shoot you in the head." She's staring daggers at Vanya.
Did we make sure she doesn't have any communications on her?
Yeah, that wasn't hard.
Okay. Yep.
And Vanya, for her part, other than looking a little exasperated, is like, okay, like a modicum of more respect towards you, Caleb, because you seem to be in charge here, and goes, you captured the enemy commander?
Oh, wow.
You got the Shosa?
Where shall I cat you?
Yeah, she decided that her mech disintegrating around her wasn't a good place to be.
Well, I don't blame her, but if you give her to me, we will take care of treating her properly.
Done. If I see her again, well, you won't after that.
Anybody who's there, could I get a charisma plus notice roll, please?
Mm.
So Morena, yes. Caleb, yes. Denver and Yvonne, less sure, and Geralt, probably not. Caleb. Okay, so coming from the Geralt, what you see is your commander acting like your commander, pretty much. No further implications. Yvonne and Denver, you guys get the impression that the time spent by Noguchi, if you guys give her up, will be short and brutal. Caleb and Morena, so you fully expect that the rebel forces will torture, probably torture, and then leave her in a ditch somewhere after they think they've gotten everything intelligence wise out of her. Like, she is not long for this world if you give her over to the rebel forces. Unless, of course, she escapes, but...
Right.
Yeah, Caleb looks at the... what's our friendly commander's name again?
Her name is Vanya Lund. Oberst Vanya Lund.
Right, so Caleb looks at Vanya, pauses for a half second, and says, "She's all yours. I don't want to ever see her again."
She nods and yells at one of their... There's obviously more troops around than are here in the basically the light spilling out of the back of this van. And a person wearing similar civilian clothes to Geralt. It's like people understand what an army is supposed to look like, but they're not uniforms because they're all bought at different times, and they're not all bought from the same store. You know, that sort of gear comes up. He's got a submachine gun, assault rifle as well. He comes up and takes Shosa Noguchi away somewhere else. Could I have somebody roll me 2d6, please?
Very average.
All right.
I trip while trying to.
All right. I needed to know a thing. So, okay. So Vanya says, I suggest we go for... My troops can keep the city in lockdown for probably 3 or 4 more hours. But after that, the Draconis forces could easily wipe us back off the map during daytime. I suggest that we take the hyperpulse generator, at least drive the forces away from there. I do not know if we can hold it to prevent other forces from being called to the planet. As you may know, Rasselhag is only one jump away, and that is the main military hub for this district of the Draconis Combine. So, reinforcements... If we can prevent reinforcements, it would be good, but I don't know if we can prevent it. The governor, and she kind of makes a dismissive motion, maybe burn his house to the ground later. Or the castle, if you think you can take it.
I assume all of the possibilities for repair, rearm, all of that's going to be if we take the castle. If we go after the HPG or the governor's mansion, we'll have to leave the city with whatever we can drag back.
She nods. Anything in the city that we could repair, rearm, you likely... ground troops would be shortly thereafter, because the city is favorable to our cause, but there are many loyalists, spies. Yes, the castle is the best place to acquire necessary repairs, unless you have a dropship handy.
Let's just say that it's handy-ish. How much communication equipment would we have? Obviously, we're not going to try and invade the HPG generator itself. I don't want to muck it up with Comstar today. But would we have enough to punch through to a dropship that might be around?
Vanya looks at you, Geralt.
They're all just between sips, scratches, and says, well, funny thing about my Mac, they always seem to be able to reach me.
He has satellite communications, is what he meant to say.
Okay, that makes more sense.
I have explained this to you, Geralt. Okay, yes. He can punch up to the satellites, so he should be able to contact your dropship.
All right, let me talk with our pilots for a bit. I want to get the feel of where they're thinking we're at. Sort of get a status update on how their mechs are.
All right, you guys can pull back. I guess it's up to Geralt whether he gives you that space. You guys get check-ins from all of the NPC pilots. They give you their mech's condition accurately. Your Victor pilot, whose name I have forgotten.
Gregor Kral.
Gregor is real upset. And he's like, just let me strap. I could just bolt the chair right back down in place, and I can join you. I mean, it just barely knocked out one round. I'm sure the mech is fine.
No, That's just going to be a no. I saw the engine and I saw the gyro, so that's going to be a no.
He's grumbling to himself.
If you have such star mech repairmen here, then you probably wouldn't be here.
So, question as a player, assuming we contacted the dropship, how quickly could we expect it to lift off, join us here, and join us, say, at the outskirts of Radal?
If you want them to load up, so you guys were unloading the drop ships to create like a base camp. If you emptying out the helper drop, the higher drop ship. They could, if you didn't care about reloading them, if you wanted them to just button up and punch over here, they could be here in about 3 hours. Grounded somewhere, well, depends on how much building destruction you care about. They could ground basically on top of this building if you wanted them to. Although it wouldn't be particularly safe for the drop ship, but they could land here in town or an hour out of town pretty easily. So you could have them within walking distance about 3 hours from now. If you wanted them to load up any mechs or reload any anything that hasn't been unloaded yet, it's gonna take them probably 6 hours to get the same distance. Because they've had 3 days to shift stuff around. So,
all right. So Caleb's gonna talk to the inner circle, well, all the pilots, and say, here's the way I see it. We've got basically 2 options. We can push on as we are now. I mean, I know that we've taken some losses, but all in all, our mechs are actually in pretty good shape still, and we can try and take the castle now with what we've got. Or we can have the dropship come, have it bring enough to repair, to plug the holes in our armor. But if we do that, it's going to be noon before we can take on the castle, and they're going to have time to do the same.
We've talked about there being a company of enemy mechs, right?
Well, we started off with the company, and I think we took down, 4 of them?
But they don't have more reinforcements, you think, on the inside of the castle? On mechs?
Well, they said something, she said something about tanks.
So,
Right.
yes, the information you've gotten is they have some number of tanks. They had a company of mechs, and they were reinforced by 3. So what got taken out? Yeah, so the Warhammer got taken down with a leg.
Dragon
the
Incinerator.
Archer and the Dragon, I think those were the only ones who were actually...
One of the Vulcans was down with a leg.
We've got a couple of legs on the smaller ones, yeah.
Yeah, so Vulcan got taken out with a leg, I believe.
The Jenner withdrew.
Yep, the Jenner withdrew. Yeah, one of the Vulcans is out.
So they're down by 4 and up by 3. So they got
Yep.
11 mechs.
And judging by what Yvonne knows, so the 4 mechs were 3 heavies and a medium, and the lance that unloaded from the Leopard is 3 lights.
Also, I was kind of, as my character, as Mirena, do we know about any static defenses they have at the castle? I'm assuming there are.
There would be probably more anti-air emplacements at the castle. than anti-mech emplacements. The tanks and the mechs, basically, mechs are really good at taking out static emplacements, but dropships coming in for a landing are not good at shooting at static emplacements. So mobile forces would be what you would likely see at the castle.
Okay.
So here's what I'm thinking, but this isn't in order yet. I'm thinking that we plan to assault the castle within the next hour. Don't give them a chance to regroup any more than we already have. Meantime, we signal the dropship to start making its way here with sufficient parts and whatnot for basic repairs, with the hope that we can basically push them out of the castle altogether and make that our new home. But I'm open to other ideas, suggestions, thoughts. Now's the time, people.
Hey, boss, sorry I'm late. Who holds the HPG right now?
Comstar.
With what defense?
Do you think the Kuratans
reputation.
went upset Comstar?
I know I do.
I don't know. Do you think they'll try to call in reinforcements if we attack the castle?
That's my fear as well. If we don't secure communications.
We can pay the penalty with Comstar later. We need to make sure no messages get out through that HPG.
Well, I mean, a light year travel with ships usually isn't instantaneously. Usually takes a couple of weeks, maybe at least days.
So
Right, but we're taking on a entire planet here. There could be reinforcements scattered throughout the area.
Just for in-universe reason or in-universe information, make sure you guys have it clear. So HPG is instantaneous connections with other worlds, real time. You can do basically FaceTime to another planet, and per Vanya, New Bergen is one jump, so maximum 1 week away from the local military district headquarters. So you guys could have several regiments landing on your heads in a little over, well, probably less than a week.
Right.
If
That
Rasselhide
HPG
No,
decided to drop on you, so
no.
Then I don't think we have a choice to immediately secure the surroundings of the HPG, right?
And if I'm understanding correctly, that's just instantaneous. There's other methods of communication that is not instantaneous.
So other methods of communication travel at the speed of travel, so jump ships, basically. And those again, if a drop ship, so there's no jump ships in system right now except for the one that you guys rolled in on about. It's actually about ready to jump out. So the one you guys came in on has about a day to 2 days left to charge, and then it will be jumping out system. There are no other jump ships in system that you were able to detect at the time of your entry. And
It takes a couple of days from here to the jump ship, right?
Takes about 2 days from here to the jump ship.
Question. Vana brought up a good point. Do we have a Comstar rep close by?
You don't have one in your company. There would be Comstar reps at the HPG.
Your call, boss, but I think we need to do one way or another. We need to buy as much time as possible. Maybe not outright take the HPG, but maybe go up there and schmooze them so that any communications take a while to get off planet to give us more of an option to get settled in.
All right. I think I'm getting the feeling of which way we're going, and I'll agree. I really don't want reinforcements. So it sounds like the HPG is our next target. At least securing a perimeter around it so that we don't have any surprises. How quick can you guys get a cup of coffee in you, visit the outhouse, and be ready to go?
A couple of minutes should be fine. My mech is not powered down yet.
Yo, Geralt's Black Knight's been sitting idle, just waiting. He didn't bother powering it down.
All right, people, we're rolling out in, let's call it 15 minutes. Geralt, why don't you and I go talk to your commander?
Yes, certainly. Mr. Archer, did you want to send a message to Gunnar and the guys over there? If
Yeah.
so,
Yeah, that's a good point. Let's
I'll
let's
just
see.
hand over the compad he has, data slab.
You have a
Or
data slab.
whatever.
I mean, yes, you have a data slab tied into your mech. That's perfect. Yeah.
Here, type your message, and mech will send them off.
All right, Caleb will type in a quick message, giving him coordinates nearby. If there's any convenient landing space that Vanya knows about nearby, we'll give him the coordinates for that. Tell him to come unloaded, but with repair parts.
Okay, so you're wanting him to not pick up mechs, just come with repair parts and similar.
Yes.
Okay. Somebody draw me a park and put it. We're gonna put it right about there. That. Okay. I can draw me a park too. Objects. No. Draw a shape. That one. Green. So there is a park large enough to land a drop ship in over there. So you get a message back on your compand, Geralt, that his name, it just escaped me. Gunnar, thank you. Is confident that he can land there. You can Gunnar, he is an okay dropship pilot. You don't have a lot of confidence.
I thought it was just the captain. It wasn't actually the pilot.
Well, he is. He may not be doing. He is the less than you are the pilot of your mech, but he's definitely the hands-on person. He's also the commander of the Toraberu.
What was the red square again? The little small one? Is that the landing pad for the?
So the small red square is the government center.
Right.
So it's courthouse, mayor's house, or governor's house. All of that sort of thing. So
Geralt will just offhanded comment low enough that Caleb will hear it, but no one else nearby really. Well, hope he nails it this time.
Oh,
great! That's something else I didn't need to think about.
All right, so you let
Vanya.
I have too many NPCs. You let Vanya know your guys' plans, and she nods and goes, "If you can keep the forces off our back, we can hold the HPG for, well, as long as you can keep the forces off of our back."
We'll keep them busy.
She nods. I've got a couple thousand troops in town. They are currently busy making the town less than pleasant for Draconis surface forces. So I will let them know if once and she points at Geralt, once he lets me know that you have taken the HPG grounds.
All right. Well, I got to get back to my mech and, well, after a slight detour and get it powered up again. Where's that coffee?
There's
Geralt pulls Caleb along towards the cab of the truck and fills up a cup for himself and one for Caleb.
I like you better already.
The coffee is, well, actually for you, so as far as Geralt is concerned, the coffee is very meh.
It's old coffee sitting in the pot for like 4 hours.
Right.
Meh.
This is like, this is the trash coffee from this planet that grows coffee as an export product. This is among the better coffee you've had since the last time you've probably been to like a wedding. Even 4 hours in the pot.
Oh, that's some good stuff. Where'd you get this?
Well, you do know we'd never get to keep the good stuff for ourselves. The good stuff has to leave the planet. Yeah.
What, you mean this isn't the good stuff?
No, it's even 4 hours old, dude.
Oh, man. I'm liking this planet better. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, from your perspective, like you're used to Solaris 7 and or space rations coffee, which is, you swear there probably some caffeine in it, but you're not sure the grounds aren't sawdust. All right, you guys can button up and get ready, no problem. I don't remember how beat up your mechs are. Are you gonna have any of your mechs hold back? So you have 2 pristine mechs in Yvonne's and Geralt's.
Nobody else has actually taken anything past armor, and honestly, the armor's pretty good on all of them except for Marina. The awesome got sanded pretty
Yeah.
significantly.
Okay. So you
So I'm
get,
kind of thinking leave awesome back. I don't know. What do you want to do, East?
Yeah, I mean, right now we're definitely hanging it back a little bit more, just raining on PPCs.
So go along on the mission,
Mhm.
but stay in the rear.
A couple of the NPC mechs were pristine as well.
right.
Notably, the Wolverine and one more of the NPCs were right, the Archer, actually, or maybe it had 1 armor point.
How did the Wolverine manage to? Never mind. I'm not going to ask. Because the Wolverine was right in the middle of it. Okay, so, Dawn will be coming up, tracking to the HPG. How did we decide? Yeah, it's about 2 kilometers. Call it per hex. That's a reasonable sized town, right? The HPG is kind of in the middle. Government center's to the left of that. I don't know how big cities are.
They're big.
It very depends on the city, but I'm thinking Battletech they were like
This
pretty
is
big ones.
a city of several million.
Oh, that's not that big.
Planet New Bergen. So Rodal has 8 million people in it.
Was that New York?
Yeah.
No, less.
Less, but it's more spread out than New York is. Think more Los Angeles level crowdedness.
All right.
I don't want to say it's this many kilometers and then have somebody come up to me and say, yeah, that's like 3 times the size of the city. It's not important.
It would definitely be in the city at 6 kilometers.
Okay.
Or 8 kilometers if you're talking 2 per hex.
Yeah, oopsie. To do. Why can I not snap to center? Thank you. So, all right. So actually, if I change the map scale, hold on, I can do. Oh, we're doing it all live. Grid size
You
is
can indeed.
2 kilometers. Save settings. All right. So from where you guys are at, it's a 12-kilometer hike to the HPG. What's your guys' speed? The Morena, yours
Awesome is about 50. Yep.
50, which would put us at... That would take just around an hour to clear.
12 kilometers at 50 kilometers per hour? That's
It's like
No.
10 minutes.
It's like 10 minutes,
Yeah.
right?
11, 12 minutes. I was
So-
thinking meters per second math
Right.
in there.
So you guys could still hit pre full dawn. If you want to push yourself directly there, like you're under the impression that this location was a temporary, and like there are troops pulling up stakes here. So yeah, so it's a 10-minute walk from where you're at. Of course, it's about the same from the castle to there. If there are reinforcements in your direction, you don't know. 6 kilometers is about 5 minutes running at awesome speeds. So you don't know for sure how long it'll take reinforcements to arrive once you do hit the place, but you can hit before dawn. So it'd be again. Let's look at. All right. Well, actually, we could do this. I can find a map, and we can do a little bit of scouting. Because we're not going to start Mega Mech right now because there's not enough time left, but we can scout out what you guys are going to see at the start of next week. No, 2 weeks. Let me see if I can find a good map. Nope. All right. I know there are cities here. Doing everything. That's a good one, I think. View game board. No, that's the wrong. View game board. Alrighty then. So you guys will be coming up from. Can I zoom in a little bit more? I can. You can either load into the game and look at the game board, or you can look at the stream. So the hyperpulse generator is the large building, skyscraper building in the top center of this map. Unknown forces are arrayed around it. You guys would be getting readings off of 4 tanks and probably 3 APCs. Located basically, and who knows how many troops. But yeah, so you'll be coming in from the south bottom left corner. Basically, I'll let you do anywhere along the bottom as an input. And yeah, that will be what you guys see. What do you have any questions before actually arriving at the scene? I'll let you basically get to choose your conditions. Let's move this. Planetary conditions. So light can be either dusk, dawn, or daylight. Up to you guys.
Let's see. By the time we walked over there, had the confab, it's probably starting to lighten the sky by the time we get there. There's
Right.
I guess that's my take on it.
So it's not full moon. So it's no longer as dark as it was when you. So that was full moon night, is what you guys did the encounter of before. So you can either choose Dusk Dawn, which is I think a -1 to hit rolls, or Daylight, which is normal to hit rolls. And there's no rain or wind to care about. Everything else would be normal. So,
Is that map going to be big enough for the size of our force plus defending force?
well, defending force is going to be arrayed around the building.
Mhm.
I can see if I can find other city maps to tack on to either side or top or bottom, I guess.
It just looks a little crowded
Well,
with the buildings.
right. I mean, it's a city, so pretty much any fighting is going to be crowded.
True.
Yeah, if you want me to, I can look to see what other city maps we got.
It doesn't.
Yeah,
We don't need an answer right this moment. Just something for you to think about.
So load you up.
Although, if we're going to go bigger, you're still on 16 by 17 for your size. You got to choose different directory, I think, to.
Yeah, so
If you go to the drop down above your game board that says 16 by 17, you can choose different map size.
yeah, there's not a lot of city maps in general. There's a couple, but I don't know. The default ones, 16 by 17 ones. City maps aren't a super common battle mech tournament thing. C-Tech Desert Hills. I could punt the. Nope. Oopsie. Okay, that doesn't have any buildings. That also doesn't have any buildings. Doggone it. If you want me to, I can put the residential or suburbs map either below it or to the left or right if you wanted to extend the
I think a
engagement
little more
range.
width would be good. Just because I don't know that the range is necessarily bad, but just if we've got 10 mechs deployed, say, on the bottom of that map, that's going to take up 2/3 of the map width.
All right, so what do we do? Map size, 1 by 2. No, 2 by 1. Okay. No, it's 1 by 2. Sigh. 1 by 2. Okay. So 0 would be residential, and 1 would be skyscraper. So that, so the HPG would be the building in the top right, the big skyscraper there, and then the rest of the city is to the left of that. That look like a reasonable encounter?
Looks good to me.
Yeah, that looks.
Okay.
Interesting.
Hmm?
Looks interesting.
City fighting is brutal. Tend to be very short range affairs. All right. So a little shorter today. You guys have anything else you want to cover with role playing before I call it a day?
Only a small wager with Denver.
Feel free. I can let you two work that out.
If you've got the C bills, I've got the skills.
Nice one. But if we do encounter anybody up here at the HPG, I bet I can get more KOs than you, Denver. I bet 10 Siggy bills I got this on you.
I'll take that wager.
Yes. I'll prove it, Denver. You may have been the one that recruited me, but I'll prove that I am better than you at some point.
I'm still waiting.
All right, so we will be back again in Mega Mech coming next week. I hope to see you all there. Then, otherwise, I have been Sam Lander. This is Mech Warrior. I hope to see you all again next time. Thanks everybody for watching. Bye.